Hey Guitar Champion, what's going on? Justin Hombach here, back from my practice cave, and today I'm going to show you my 3-step method how I usually learn fast licks, especially picking licks. So here we go. When you're following this channel and me as a person on social media, then you might know that I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with speed picking licks. Oh man, I love speed picking and I love fast licks. And I'm always searching for the challenge. And lately I found a pretty cool speed picking run from a really great modern shredder called Jason Richardson. Okay, and while I was checking out this pretty fast and intense speed picking lick, I thought, why not making a video out of it and sharing with you guys and showing you guys my 3-step method that I usually use when I want to learn, practice and master fast licks, especially fast speed picking licks. And this is all about in today's video. I have split my 3-step method in 3 different days. You can take this idea and, for example, split it into 3 different weeks or 3 different months. Take the time that you need for yourself. Please always keep in mind, I'm not that guitar crazy guy that fell out of heaven. I'm no Jason Richardson, I'm no Stephen Taranto. I have a lot of flaws, but I practice a lot. So take the time that you need for yourself and for your circumstances. And if you have a job or a family life, you maybe cannot practice 5 to 6 hours a day. But you can use that method as well in your daily routine by expanding the time. And I, like I said, have used it for 3 days. So let's check out the method. Little disclaimer, you will hear the end result of this lick, which I've recorded today, because today is day number 3, in the end of the video. And if you have any cool crazy picking licks that you thought, okay, I always wanted to learn them, or it would be so awesome to see Justin playing those licks, then write it down in the comments. I'm always for the hunt of new picking licks, and I love to check out players like Rusty Cooley, Jason Richardson, Stephen Taranto, all the modern players, to learn more intense picking lick. So please, if you have a favorite picking lick where it's already blew your mind, write it in the comment. Alright, the 3-step method is also a method that I use on my new picking course called the Then of Speed Picking. If you have any problems with speed picking, with upward pick slanting, downward pick slanting, and you want to have an encyclopedia of licks, then feel free to get the Then of Speed Picking. There I have tons of exercises for 2-way pick slanting, upward, downward pick slanting, speed picking, string skipping and all that kind of crazy shit. But those aren't any boring chromatic exercises. Those are blueprints where you can use them in your own musical way and build some own and cool crazy licks out of it. So my 3-step method is learning it slow, get it under your finger, get it in your muscle memory, getting each phrase up to tempo and building up tempo, building up stamina, playing the complete lick and mastering it while recording it and really focusing on all the little flaws that we can't hear when we are practicing the lick without recording. So let's start with day number 1. Good morning! So day number 1 has started from a journey to learn a Jason Richardson lick in only 3 days. Straight out of the bed. It's now 3:50 in the morning, and yeah, today our mission is to learn the lick and trying to play it on half a tempo, decently on half the tempo. Depends on how difficult and how complex the lick is. And yeah, I try to divide this a little bit into different parts of the day, and the end result of the day should be mastering this lick in, yeah, let's say half the tempo. Yeah, that should be possible. So let's start learning the lick. Alright, so first let's listen to the lick. from that crazy main riff. All right. Okay, so first I'm going to check out the BPM, of course, and let's check it out together. Here you have the original tabs from Jason, bought from him. Go buy his tabs, support the artist. It's a way to give him money so he can create more crazy music like this, which makes all of us really, really happy. So, and the BPM is 125, and we have 30-second notes. Fuck! Okay, 30-second notes on 125 BPM. I always love to calculate what this could be in different subdivisions on different tempos. So, for example, let's take me a calculator. Einen Taschenrechner. In German. So we have 125 BPM and we have 30-second notes, and these are 60 notes on 250 BPM. Now, in what BPM would this be 60 note triplets? And I have a little kind of equation for that. I hope this one is right, to be honest. I never really checked if that is correctly or that right. If you know a different equation, or you know, no, you don't calculate it like this, then please write it down in the comments. So what I do, I calculate 250 times 0.30. So I have the third of 250, I believe. And this is 75. And then I calculate 250 minus 75, and therefore I get 175. And to this equation, this should be a 60 note triples in 175, which is 50 BPM faster than my picking goal for 2022, which is getting triplet notes on 160 BPM through my Then of Speed Picking program. And my current status is 140 BPM. So I think I'm fucked a little bit. So let's check out the lick. Oh man, here we go. As I've mentioned in the video, I first play the lick really, really slow to get it under my fingers and into my muscle memory. And this can cost sometimes a little bit more time, sometimes a little bit less time. It depends on the lick. And this lick, it was pretty easy because Jason Richardson is a guitar player that comes out of the same school like I am. This is the John Petrucci school, how I love to tell it. Which means the fingerings and the shapes and the scales are usually the same that I love to play since I discovered Dream Theater the first time, which was 15 years ago. So, but I'm also here to share with you this crazy cool lick. And therefore I would say, let's learn this lick. Let's take a deeper look on it. If you want to have the tabs for this lick, then click the link in the description box. And there you will find the tabs for this lick. Alright, let's check out the lick first. So the first bar slow goes like this. And Jason is dividing these licks into 4 and 6 note groupings. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're starting off with the highest note that we can play on kind of this guitar, the 24th fret on the E string, the high E. And we're playing a 4-note scale down descending. Be aware of that little position shift here from the 20th to the 90th fret. This can be pretty tricky, and I love to practice alone the position shift as an individual practice idea. So I practice to not slip too far away from the flat or even slip at all. and have the picking right. And then the next 4 phrases are 22, 20, 19 and 17. Again with the position shift. Then we have the first phrase where we are changing to a different string, the B string, the 6-note phrase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In frets we have 20, 19, 17, 20, 17, 19. So C, B, A, G, A, B. And herefore we are now using as well pick slanting, our secret tool to get your picking boosting when you want to change the next string or whatnot. I don't know what to call it. But yeah, two-way pick slanting is now here the way to go to get from one string to the next string in a really smooth and efficient way. If you want to know more about two-way pick slanting, I made a video about pick slanting, and if you want to really get deep into it, I again have to tell it every time, go get the Zen of speed picking. Alright, so first we have upward pick slanting, and then for that one note on the B string we are changing to downward pick slanting. I call this lick also the reversed Paul Gilbert lick. So again, 4 note, 6. Now again 4, but we are not playing it again descending those next 2 4-note phrases, because we want to try to stay in one position, so we have to change the string. In this case, the next 4-note phrase goes like this. And now we are starting on the B string. And having there again a 4-note phrase with a position shift. I play the 4-note phrase, the last 4-note phrase on the E string. I play the last note with the ring finger or with the middle finger. With the middle finger, sorry. To get the pinky straight to the next note for the next 4-note phrase, because then when we're playing this one with the pinky, the last note on the B string, sorry, the first note on the B string, it's really hard to slide into the next position shift. So I do this with my middle finger. I'm creating this kind of line. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then again the 6-note phrase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, upward pick slanting, downward, and going back to upward pick slanting. Okay, then 1, 2, 3, 4. Our last notes for this bar, and here we are again not going descending directly. We are first switching to the next lower string, which is in this case the G string. Okay, this one is the second 4-note phrase from our 4-4-6 division, and because when we're dividing those lines into 4-4-6, I mean those are 4 and 4, 8 plus 6 is 8, 6, 2, 4 sind 14, and 14 plus 14 again is not 32nd, we're playing 32nd notes, it's 28. So we are always moving our accent or our starting point from those 4-4-6 grouping into the different section of a bar. We are not always starting on the 1. It's changing here and there, and therefore the first 4-note phrase from this section was in the bar before that, in the first bar. The second one is the one we are starting right now, so now we're playing 6-note phrase. Again, the reverse Paul Gilbert lick, be aware of the pick slanting. Upward, down. Then again 4-note phrase, 4-note phrase, 6-note phrase. Still staying in the A minor scale, nothing unregular here, everything with no sharps and flats. And then again a 4-note phrase. Getting to it's more kind of a 5-note phrase here, because after that last note here on the 15th fret of the A string, we are going to the E string where we're starting the next kind of idea how we are grouping those lines and how we are dividing those 32nd notes. Alright, let me play those 2 bars again, really slow. Four, 4, 6. 4, 4, 6. now let's check out the next two bars, the ascending bars. And therefore I'm going to play first our grouping here, or division here, slow. We're starting off on the B, on the E string, the 19th fret. Then we're playing ascending the scale, the A minor scale, up to the A string when we're on the 19th fret, and then we're going again descending to the G, the 15th fret of the E string. And then we're playing to the octave and ascending. So we have two 8-note groupings here, which is a little bit more usual. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. And then we're taking the same idea, starting on the E, the 19th fret of the A string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Be aware of here now we're not playing the 15th fret anymore, we're playing now the 16th fret because we are on the A minor scale. And we don't have those stupid B sharps there. Again, sorry, up. This one is the second bar, the third bar, sorry. Now we're going to the fourth bar, which is kind of the same idea, starting on the A, the 19th fret of the D string. Having a really nasty position shift here, which makes it really hard playing it fast, because we have to jump with our index finger from the 16th fret here to the 17th fret on the B string. After we've played of course, the 17th fret of the G string. And then we're starting, now not with our pinky, with our ring finger, here on the 19th fret of the G string. But we have to switch to the pinky again when we're reaching the second time to the G string, when we're playing it again descending. So we can play the 3-note per string here. And then the ascending line to cool bending, or the country part in the song. So let me again play those two bars again. Again, the synchronization was a little bit off here. Alright, and this is a complete lick from Hose Down Jason Richardson, the picking lick. Alright, this one was learning the lick. Now let's check out method number 2. So let me try to play this one up to tempo after only around 1 hour of practicing. Fuck! But it's so much fun. Let me try it again. Okay, that's so cool. Yeah, this is something for tomorrow, to play it up to tempo, section by section. So let's check out day number 2. Guten Morgen! So the task for today is to get everything that we've learned yesterday a little bit up to tempo. And my favorite way how to get things up to tempo, and the way that I also used for the Zen of speed picking, I'm going to show you right now. Okay, in method number 2 I take individual phrases from that lick and I divide the lick not necessarily in musical phrases, like I've mentioned in the explanation part of the lick, that the lick is divided in several 4 and 6 groupings. But I'm not dividing this when it comes to the mechanical side of practicing a lick. Here I divided it more into the motion of our fingers, into different fingerings and into different connections between those individual movements. For example, in the first bar I divided into 4, 4 and then into a 9-note phrase. So the next 9 notes are for me one big chunk of notes, and I want to train that big chunk on up to tempo. And why do I now play it up to tempo? And this is a phenomenon that I realized in the last years teaching as a professional guitar coach and working on online courses like the Zen of speed picking. There is a big difference in how we are playing when we're playing something slow and we're playing something fast. Our body moves differently. I hold my pick differently when I play fast. When I play slow, I have it really parallel to the side. When I play fast, I angle it more and more and more. When I play slow, I often lift my my index finger from the left hand to keep the synchronization a little bit more connected. When I play fast, I keep the index finger of the left hand steady on the fret when I can. Our brain is working differently. There is a theory called chunking from Troy Grady, and I highly recommend you to check out the chunking system by Troy Grady, where he's saying at a certain speed we are not really recognizing every individual note in our playing. We are more seeing our playing as part of chunks, and our brain gives out the information in chunks and not anymore in individual notes. So I highly recommend to you guys to check out that, and I highly recommend to play something fast. It's a misconception to say that you cannot work on clean guitar playing when you're playing fast. No, you can work on clean guitar playing. You can work on muted strings and all the kind of noise that a guitar can make when they're distorted, even in fast or in higher tempo. But when we always are afraid of playing something fast, that doesn't bring us to the goal. No, it hinders us a lot. So I want to encourage everybody, play fast. Play fast with a system. Play fast with the consciousness about it. Be aware of what you're doing. But don't be afraid of playing fast. Just hit it. Just do it. And play these 16-note triplets on 130, 140 BPM or whatnot. Do it. Play fast. It makes a lot of fun. And it's sometimes a little bit more refreshing than playing something on 80 BPM, then 19, then 100, 110, then I have to stop my practice routine and then I have to start over the next day. Go and play it on 140. Now, let's go. But don't divide the line into different tempo sections, I would say. I would recommend divide the line into different movements, like I did. And for example, again, the first bar, I divide into 4 notes, then again 4 notes, and then 9 notes, and so on. And how I divide the first bar and how I practice it, that we'll see in the next few clips. You can skip that if you don't want to see the full process how I'm practicing the first bar. Try to play the line with me together. Learn it from the first section and then just try to play it with me together, alright? Okay, let's practice the first bar of this lick and then let's move on to method number 3. Good morning! Well, after we tried yesterday to get each phrase up to tempo. Now it's time to work on our stamina with that lick by playing each bar separately and then putting the next bar to it and then trying to fulfill it more and more until we have all 4 bars up to tempo. So let's go to day number 3. Yes. Alright, day number 3 or method number 3 is building up stamina. Now in method number 2 we was practicing short lines, which isn't really hard for our stamina. Now we want to combine more of those lines and put them, all those 4 bars together. And I've done this by first playing the first bar over and over again. Then the first and the second bar. Then bar 1, 2 and 3. Then bar 3 and 4. Das sind nicht die schlimmsten. And then the complete line, all the 4 bars. And let me tell you, this is really hard for my stamina. But those are the lines that are developing my stamina. Compare it to making sport. When you don't run, when you don't do bicycle or swimming or whatnot, when you're just sitting there, you need to get out there and have to have some effort. And the same is for guitar playing. Guitar playing is more like sport than you think. Most of the people that are saying guitar playing isn't sport comes from people who don't really like sport. And I'm a fan of sport. And I'm a fan of the sport way or method and transforming it into guitar. Not the competition kind of side of sport. Guitar is not a competition, but you can approach guitar playing like you're approaching sports. And this is kind of part of method number 2 and 3, of course, and especially method number 3. Now, when we have all 4 bars together, I would recommend you in every lick, record yourself. There's so much you can't hear when you're practicing a lick because you have just a limited amount of focus you can put into practicing. I mean, when you're practicing guitar, we want to check out, is the fingering correct, are the notes correct, does it sound kind of correctly, but our ears, we cannot focus really our ear because we are focused on the visual side and all the movement going on here. So record yourself so that you hear afterwards, wait a second, there's something off in the timing or there's something off with the notes and I'm always hitting the wrong note there. For example, what I realized when I recorded all the licks from the den of speed picking is that I don't start on the motherfucking 1. And it annoyed me that much. I always started a 30-second note before the 1. Every time when I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and I wanted to play the line, and I'm not starting on the 1, I'm starting the 30-second note before the 1. And in the musical context, you wouldn't barely hear it or never hear it on 140 BPM 30-second notes. I doubt that you would recognize the difference that much. Maybe in your subconsciousness, but a lot when you're focusing on it. But I would say most of the people wouldn't recognize it. So I could say, nah, I don't care. Nobody will notice. There isn't even a click going on in the background. So then, in general, nobody would have noticed that I'm not starting on the 1. But I was so annoyed of it that I didn't start on the grid. And this is something that I firstly just realized when I recorded lines like that. So get yourself an interface, get yourself a DAW. It's so easy nowadays, and record yourself or make sessions where you're recording like, then stop and then analyze it. Okay, what is still going on there? What is still wrong? Okay, there's a synchronization is going off there. I always hit the wrong note there, stuff like that. Record yourself. It's one of the best mirrors to reflect the way how you're playing right now. those are my 3-method tip how you can practice speed picking licks, or speed and fast licks in general. Or you could also practice slow licks with that method, of course. Or you could practice phrasing licks. Phrasing is also really underrated technique, to be honest. Okay, but so much for this. Again, when you have some pretty cool, interesting picking lines where you're thinking yourself right now, oh man, I want to show that to you, still then write it in the comments. And please check out my Then of Speed Picking course, the link is in the description box. I hope you like this little video, and I hope I'm going to see you in my next video again. Cheers and stay progress.